everybody, and welcome to Natural Chaos, where chaos reigns supreme and logic is occasionally there.
That's fair.
Okay. This Cirque Du Rosél campaign, this will get better eventually. But we're idiots. So it may not. And each title sequence will be as worse as the next one. Last one. Cue title sequence. I was about to say I'm your host. No, I am your DM. Right, I have notes. So, our story begins with a circus placed directly in the center of a bustling town. This town, Grasmere, is full of many different races and species, yet is divided by the very thing that makes it so different. The circus in question is the famous, or rather infamous, Cirque du Rosél, owned by the ringmaster, Hyde Rosel, Mr. Evil Sexy Man. The circus is made up of many different and interesting people and acts from all walks of life. Upon entering, maybe you'll catch a glimpse of a half-elven musician or a tattooed animal trainer with bright white hair. No one knows what you might come across where the world of the lucky and the damned collide. This tale, I almost said table, this tale is set in the continent of Akurili, or more commonly known as Akan. In this world, you are deemed at birth as a one or an other. The ones are known for their elegance, pale colors, riches, power, and their superior intelligence, or rather, assumed intelligence. They appear to pass as humanoids, whether they are born one or take the face of one, as an elf, human, and halfling. If you are born amongst the Kalashstars or Asimars, you are deemed and worshipped as nothing short of everyday royalty. If you are deemed an other, you are shunned amongst the outcasts, born as something that higher society thinks little of. The others are as mismatched, chaotic as the life cycles themselves, not caring what society deems unworthy or unimportant. They're simply explosions of color, art, and true culture, almost free of any crime, finding harmony amongst each other, unlike their supposed superiors. Any difference that is punished by a one is celebrated amongst the others. Things may be poorer for another, material objects of lesser value, but the life of the different always ends up with more excitement. Races amongst the others are Aarakocra, dwarves, tieflings, goblins, tritons, genasi, orcs, and many others. There are, of course, other places where the boundaries between races seem to blur. Our traveling circus is a prime example. There is also Humanitan, more commonly known as the frozen caps, where the most treacherous beasts, scaled and winged, reside among those born of air, and those whom surrender themselves to it. Adan the forest, or the nightmare woods, where the ones only know of the dark, nightmare-fueled terrors that reside. Others might know just a little bit more. Farron Cove is a place filled with ones and others, moments away from clashing together, filled with those of the sea, those of thievery, and those born of both. Beware if you have anything of value. As for where our circus resides, Grasmere is just as unique as the rest. The white and red tent sits juxtaposed against the creams and browns of the town. Grasmere has low alleys full of the others and high storefronts. The obvious division tends to muddle as it gets closer and closer to the performance. Fine. So, what happened last time? On the time that wasn't recorded. Right. So, y'all were doing your practice bits, and then Dwarf Man Gerald decided to run around to everyone and go, hey, I'm going to interrupt what y'all are doing, and can you please come to Hyde? Because Hyde's a scary man, and also I hate Borelli. Borelli, Snake Woman, totally not into Hyde. No. Not into Dr. Sexy Evil Man. Not at all. She got into a bit of a spat with Gerald before just designating her job to him, therefore him going around and telling everyone. The party then went to Hyde, messed around with the things in his office, and before that, woke up an entire warforge. On accident. But that's fine. They went to a couple of different, they went to one of each of the streets in Grasmere, which is 2 streets, and one's another street and one's a 1 street. And they're both as different as the next. Yeah. So, on that note, would you guys like to introduce your characters? Natalie.
She is honestly lovely. She's about 5 feet tall. She is always dressed in all white, which matches her skin. She's albino, so she looks like she was kind of made to stand out. But in a place like the circus, she looks like she belongs there. She appears to have a feather headdress, but upon closer inspection, the feathers seem to replace all of the hair on her body. So, like along her arms, along her head, even like on in the middle of her fingers. Her face is always covered in like vibrant stage makeup, so like bright blush, eyeshadow, red lipstick. She has a beauty mark underneath her one of her eyes. She switches it up sometimes. She has a blue stripe of paint across her bottom lip and a tattoo across her nose. Her eyes are like a muted purple, like a dull purple, and one of them is slightly dilated and lazy. It takes like a little bit more effort to move them. Sometimes if
I feel
she's
that.
yeah, if she's stressed, she's like, oh god, this is not gonna happen. Her face is very angular, despite her stout and almost round body. From the waist down, she has lanky hawk legs in a pale, like salmon color. She always wears a mid 1800s style clothing, with one of her common outfits being a mid 1800s style dress that is folded up just under her knees. It comes across her shoulders in these big ruffles, and there is a folded ribbon across her waist. She has 3 bows, one on either side of her shoulder and one in the middle of the bodice, in these like deep cerulean teal shades. She's got these big teardrop-shaped emerald earrings that hang down below her feathers on either side of her jaw, and a chain necklace with the end of it, or whatever is like on the end, tucked into her bodice. She's got like long black nails and a ring on one hand that greatly resembles a Victorian poison ring. She's always standing at her full height, very proud, with an elegant posture and gait,
Full height.
which is 5 feet tall.
Yes.
Yes.
Short bird woman. Also, we love arm hair. No, arm feathers. On that note, Justin, do you want to describe your character and what he looks like?
Hello. Castian. He is a 6'1" Eladrin elf. Somehow ended up Marie's best friend, but height. He has skin that is just so pale. He's so pale. Like, paler than Natalie pale. He's got bright red eyes.
Translucent pale.
He is translucent. Well, Natalie's translucent, but like more translucent. Anyways, he has like not glowing, tired. He has like bright red eyes and like he's just in like white, flowing, luxurious, just beautiful hair.
Give us the cover girl hair.
Maybe he's born with it, maybe it's Maybelline, like you know how it is. So he's got like that beautiful hair. He wears just a simple blue tunic or brown tunic or whatever, and whenever he's working with the animals, like this brown cloak. And you will never see him in his entire life. You will never see him without his necklace on, which has a little ring on the end of it. As well as that ring, he also, you can't see him without these because they're on his body. He has just these intricate, shut up, Eddie. He has these intricate, line tattoo, and like pattern tattoo designs all the way down the right side of his face, disappearing into his shirt. And if he wasn't wearing a shirt, you would see they disappear into the waistband of his pants.
I feel like that's gonna happen at some point during this campaign, knowing Castian. But you'll find out. You'll figure out his personality in a bit.
But you'll find that they don't really go much farther. They end at his hip and go down only the first part of his arm, like down to his elbow.
Pine, do you want to introduce HCIAPB?
Towering over the party, having been awoken by a broom over the head, is our lovely Warforged companion. High-powered computerized info analyzing protection bot, or HCI APB. Whoever named him was not good at acting. So our lovely Warforged is a lovely 7 foot tall, towering over the rest of the party. He's a very large individual. Very like widely built. He has armor like covering his body, a lot of working components, almost as if there's things hidden underneath his like armor like skin. He has sort of like runes running along his body that glow whenever he's in battle. And there seems to be a lot of hidden amongst the Warforged, and he carries a couple like satchels and like pouches and things all over his figure where he holds unknown things.
Session 0, they picked up some 2 handy dandy items. One of them being a circlet that continually calls to Hugo, and another one that Marie, Caspian, and Hakaya Kuba found.
We haven't stolen it yet. We just noticed it.
Stolen it, but
Yeah,
they probably will. Knowing this party, they probably will.
They absolutely will.
Introduce yourself. Oh my god.
My lighting is awful. Anyways, my character, Hugo Gittenauer. That's a German R. You know what? We're rolling.
It's a German R?
It's
German
fine.
already.
Okay. The German R and the French R are basically the same.
They're
Just
basically
saying.
the same thing.
But, okay, anyways. He is 5'10", half elf. He has tannish skin, like more like human skin, dark hair, bright blue eyes. And you guys just have such good character descriptions. Hugo's just out here vibing in whatever clothes he finds. He's like, that fits me? All right. Just slaps it on,
Should we quickly go around and discuss the classes of our characters?
Oh, right, that's the thing.
Quick fire round. Quick speed round. Speed round. Marie, go.
She's a rogue. She's a thief.
Castian,
he's
go.
a Drake Warden Ranger.
Hakaya, put it, go.
He is a artificer, specifically the armorer class. So he's
Hugo.
he's a
Oh. Hugo, go. Hugo, go.
Bard.
That's all that needs to be said.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that we've described our party, let's get started. So, the party finds themselves in the store of Mr. General. The General store. The store that is owned by this little goblin man that is absolutely covered in pink bows, majestic hair, his hair just dressed up like a 5-year-old, his makeup very much included. But he is vibing in the fact that he looks like a very poorly made drag queen. Okay, so party went to go get some supplies, which was the quest from Hyde, and then found themselves in a little bit of a sticky situation. 3 men came in and just decided, hey, give us all your stuff. Marie goes, no thank you. And Cassian went, I will be protection buff man, even though I am not buff. And that's where we are. I would like you all to quickly roll initiative for me.
God, okay. That's garbage.
That would be 15.
That's a 5.
Oh my god, okay.
Okay.
I love that. It's literally my character has no initiative modifier because he has no dex.
Oh, I have an initiative modifier. It's an 8. Never mind. I was like.
Okay. Hakaya cover. Oh, Hugo Deadass got 20. That's fine.
Is Hugo in the shop yet?
They're all so Hugo and Araya are standing outside of the shop. Castian, Marie, and Hakaya Kuba are standing inside the shop with the 3 guys in between. I would love to have a battle cam, but sadly, no battle cam. That's
no
fine.
Battle.
Pine, what's your initiative order?
15.
Cool. Hugo, you were up first. You see these 3 men inside the shop, and you don't see Marie in front of them. But you do see Castian, who's towering over them. All of these men aren't that tall, but they're taller than Marie.
Did you forget the 7-foot Warforged?
Yeah, okay, 7-foot Warforged man. But I'm just...
Okay, but Hugo knows Cass. The 7-foot Warforged he met like an hour ago.
Hey, dude. I
Okay.
know who you are.
What are you gonna do, dude? Should probably get up a rise.
Hugo will approach, from behind. Just like, I don't want to catch the attention of the people. Just like, see what's going on,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, roll me a perception check then.
That is a 14.
14? Cool. So you see this man, you see the man, so there's 3 of them, as I said. And one man is reaching towards his sword, looking down at Marie, because Marie is short. And so you see him reaching for a sword, you see the other guys reaching for their weapons. One guy has a, what are they called? Big bunky stick. Club. That's what it is. One guy is reaching for a club, and another guy is reaching for his sword as well. And you see the guy with the club is closer. The guy with the club and the guy with the other sword is closer to Akaya Puba, and they're looking up in slight not fear, but slight intimidation at this metal 7-foot man. That's what you see.
Interesting.
Are you going to do anything?
It seems pretty aggressive to just like stab someone, so I'm not gonna do it.
Do we have a bard pacifist? Is
I
that,
think we
is that
do.
a trend in the city? God damn it. You gonna do anything or just vibe?
I need to think this through. I'll just wait. Hugo will wait.
Eddie,
Hugo-
you may be an INTJ, but Hugo isn't.
Hugo isn't. No, we know.
Akaya Puba, what do you choose to do?
So, upon seeing, the guys pulling swords, immediately engages his protective mode.
Of course.
And sort of like steps in front, so he's like slightly in front of Marie. And he starts glowing. His body starts glowing. And out of his hand emerges a hand axe.
Valid.
Michelle will to hit. That is a 7.
That sadly does not hit, but I also realized I don't have my monsters manual with me. So no, that does not hit regardless. Is there anything else you need to do?
I think I can do takes a bonus action. Yeah, nothing I do takes a bonus action.
Valid.
Yeah, no, kind of just sort of like he like gauges his battle mode and just kind of like steps slightly in front of Marie, being like, "Come at me, bro."
Men in front of Marie decide to go, I'm going to pick on the small bird because, small bird. He's going to take a quick gander.
Mm-hmm.
That is 14.
Yeah, that hits.
Kill. We are going to do the damage box. That is 5 damage.
Oh,
So he takes out his sword and he goes, haha, I need to go for the bird. Goes clonk. Clonk on, and another man who rolled initiative. Right below this other man goes, I'm also, looks at small bird, then realizes, oh, big metal man. Gonna take that one down before I get bonked by the metal man. That's cocked. That is a 16.
That hits.
Manages to bonk the metal man for 9 damage. So Castian, upon seeing this environment, you see somebody slash down at Marie, and you see the guy with the club just go bonk.
Whoever's attacking Marie is who he's gonna attack because he's not gonna stand for that. So I'm gonna take my boy. Where's my boy? There's my boy. He's just gonna draw his how do you pronounce that? Hold on. Yiklewa. He's gonna just draw his Yiklewa. I would have to find the pronunciation for that every time.
Yep.
And he's just going to attempt a stabby stab.
Valid.
That is 16. Does that hit?
That definitely is.
All right. And that'll give him 8 damage. Damn. All right.
8 damage.
Mm-hmm.
13 minus 8.
Okay.
This guy immediately decides to go. He looks and he starts regretting his life decisions. Okay. Next up is another man. This third man who sees Hugo just standing there, doing absolutely nothing, just standing there going, what should I do? He rolls a 2. So no, that does not hit. I'm not even going to add the modifiers. That does not hit. So he just swings out to you, Hugo, and goes, oh, well, regretting my decisions. I also forgot to roll for Araya. So Araya is going to go next. She looks at this, looks at Hugo and goes, are you going to do anything? Nope. Goes and swings out. She goes and pulls out her dagger. That hits for 1 damage. That's great.
Oh, garbage.
Back to Hugo. What are you choosing to do after nearly being hit?
Eddie, no.
It's time for stabby, folks.
Thank you.
Good.
With the long sword. Yes. Mm-hmm. And we're gonna do two-handed, so that's a D10 damage if I hit it.
Oh.
Which we'll see.
Oh my god, these guys' hit points are not good.
Oh, I got a natural 20.
Oh my god.
Eddie's just rolling
My
good
carpet.
today.
What did you roll?
Yes. A natural 20. I need to find the D10. I'm fine. I can do this. I swear. That's
The
an 8.
D10 looks like this.
I
8?
got it. Got it. That is a 7.
7.
14.
Hugo just turns to this man and just swings, and the guy immediately drops to the floor.
Oh, wow.
The guy with 13 hit points.
That's a home run.
Hugo just slices this guy, just like chopping him up like butter. This guy just goes down, and the other two look to Hugo with this half-elven man with this huge sword going, well, we just got ourselves into some trouble. Getting rid of that man.
That one game, you know.
Okay. Pine, your go.
Marie ever go?
No, Marie did not go. Marie, it's your go.
Okay. Bonus action, I'm going to make a sleight of hand check and attempt to grab the circlet off the shelf.
Yep.
In the commotion, it's valid.
And see, because there's a distraction and using...
Yeah, you just slip behind the Warforged and let's grab this.
That's absolute trash. That's a 7.
Yeah. managed to get it. Not gonna say if anyone noticed.
All right.
At a
Notice?
7?
Okay,
Oh,
so
I
that's
think
your
Marty wants us to
action.
have the secret. Sorry,
It's-
It's also just literally on the shelf.
I-
It's not that hard to grab.
I would say taking the circlet is an action.
Okay. Okay.
Interacting with an object is an action. So is that your turn?
So,
And I will, since you are moving around people, I'm just gonna quickly, don't worry, you don't get any opportunity attacks.
great.
Rolled a 4.
Yeah.
So that's Marie's go. Marie snaps
Grab.
a little circle. Fine, you're
Okay, so Sparky, is now not very pleased at these guys. So using his non-hand axe fist, it starts sparking. And so he has his fist at the ready. I rolled a 15. So he pulls back and he just clocks the guy in the face for
What did you roll to hit? What did you roll to hit? 15. Yeah.
For 17 points of thunder damage.
Okay.
Makes a nice boom as it collides with as the fist collides with his head.
I had 5 hit points. This guy just gets obliterated. This guy just the sparks flying from this fist just goes into the man, and he Thanoses, man.
Oh dear God.
He just is obliterated with that much damage and those many hit points. Just go. I will say, all of you quickly. You know what? Because of that, all of you make a dexterity saving throw. Don't worry, it's not for anything really bad, but I rolled a 1.
Yeah, no, it's not lightning damage,
16.
it's thunder damage. Those are two different things.
Yeah, thunder damage, but yeah.
It's more like it makes a loud sound.
Yeah, but no. It's not for what I'm thinking.
21.
16.
Okay, Cassian, what did you roll?
16.
Okay, Hugo, what did you roll?
20.
Okay, everyone but Araya managed to move out of the way as this guy explodes. And she rolled a natural 1, man. She rolled a natural 1. She just gets covered in man-goo, and she just stands there. She gives the dirtiest look to Kaya Pubba. She gives the dirtiest look, and is just so mad. On that note, the one guy that's left is gonna have a nice swing. That's a 7. No. He's a bit too intimidated of his friend being obliterated. He would have gotten a full face of that, and his other friend being sliced in two. So, Castian, your go.
All right. I am gonna go ahead. He's still wielding his Yickelwa, and I'm just gonna roll. I'm gonna make an attempt. That is a 13. I don't think that hits. Does that hit?
Your modifier. What's the modifier?
Plus my modifier.
That does not hit.
Yeah, it didn't think so.
Sorry, dude. Yeah, you managed. You swing out. And you managed to just duck out of the way. So that leaves Marie's go.
She's gonna mosey on towards the back, towards Genrao, and she's just gonna slap 2 gold on the table and say, "I'm so sorry for all the bother. Dear God, some people these days." And then she's gonna just turn and pull out her dagger.
I wouldn't say the gold is interacting with an object. I mean, it is, but I'm going to allow that as a bonus action because this guy doesn't hit points anyway. So I will allow you to make an attack.
Great. She's gonna rush up and just try to cut across the guy's chest. Garbage! Wow! That would be a 9 to hit.
No, this guy's wily, man. This one guy left is wily. On that note, Hugo. No, Araya. Araya's just gonna look back at the Warforged, not even attack the guy, and just actually it's a cantrip. She can use it. No, that's all she's gonna do. She's gonna cast prestidigitation, and the goop is just gonna leave her. She's gonna drop onto the ground, still giving the dirtiest look. That's all she's gonna do with her go. Hugo.
He was gonna take the longsword again, but this time with one hand, just to make it a little bit more fair. A little bit. Just a tiny bit.
Oh, that's
an 8.
This guy is really wily. No, guy ducks out of the way. Sorry, man.
Oof.
Do you have any bonus actions?
Oh, I do. I have the 2 weapon attack. So I have a dagger too. Okay.
That's a 12.
No, that does not hit. Wow, this guy is wily. Pine, let's finish this fight. We all know this.
Come on.
I already rolled. Anyway, so Sparky,
What did you roll?
somehow not perceiving Araya's dirty look, with his still sparking hand, goes in for the next blow. It's a 17 to hit.
Yep.
And does 9 points of damage.
This guy's looking rough, but I'm gonna just.
He's still standing.
Man is still He's really trying to be brave here. He swings out with his club for Hakaya Puba and just misses wildly. He rolled a 3, so I'm not even gonna add the modifier. Rolled a 3. And yeah, just swings out blindly and he looks like he's about to cry. He looks like he's about to cry, but that's fine, because Castian's next.
All right. Okay. Castian is frustrated, and he's just gonna twirl his Yikawa in his hands, and he's just gonna roll again. Let's make an attempt here. That's a 22.
Yep,
So that hits. And that's gonna do 5 damage.
So, how do you choose to end this fight?
Okay, he's just gonna take this thing, and he's just going to throw it. And he is just going to impale him through the neck.
Valid. Oh, wow. Okay. Yep. Okay, so, fight's over. Jane Rowell, after looking at this, in just utter shock, not quite horror, but just shock, looks at him and goes, well, I guess we need to clean up on aisle 2. And then looks over at Marie, at the gold, and he pushes gold. He says, "Now, don't worry, lassie. These men were bothering me for quite a while there. Also, noticed you took a liking to that little metal useless object that I have. You can have that. No, this is the down payment, just compensation for the lovely work you did here today." But, oh God. Looks up to the massive warforge, seeing that the guy was obliterated, and goes, "That's a neat trick you have there. Looks a bit like my cousin. My cousin did something like that. He once obliterated a man. What the things you do after hail. Anyway, all the supplies you need are on the house. Don't you worry. Just God. I'm gonna need to get my brother in here to clean this up. Don't worry about it. Have a nice day, y'all."
Well, thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
On that note, Araya just turns to you, and I'm now finally going to describe Araya. Araya has she looks a little bit similar to Cassie, but not quite in the fact that she looks more Eladrin than High Elf, but she's kind of looks between a mixture of both. She has long blonde hair, not white hair, but kind of like a golden blonde. She has bright green eyes that almost look as if they're glowing, very, 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 very pointed ears, and she's wearing her nice fine red clothes that were previously covered in man goo that were
Innards.
quickly cleaned off, and she just looks and she says, "Can I leave you three alone for half an hour without you exploding a man?" And looks up the waterfall and she says, Can you warn us next time when you're going to use that trick of yours? Can you warn us so we have to step out of the way so I don't get covered in man goop?
So Sparky at this point is like powering down. So it's almost as if like, like he stops glowing and he's kind of like returning to normal. And he's just like, apologies. But Marie, the little one was in danger, so I had to do my job. I will try to give you a warning next time.
Just sighs and just, yep, thank you. Did you at least get what we needed?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, the man said we could just take it without payment.
That's nice of him. Then again, we did. We got rid of the guys, but also okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. We don't need to. We don't need to tell Rosel about this. We just mention the fact that. Yeah. Also, we looks to Hugo. We got what we needed.
All right.
Hugo, this entire time. Actually, the entire time of the fight, the Sacklet that had been speaking to you previously had gone quiet, but now that the fight's over, you just hear a "Well done, warrior" in your head.
I'm touched.
Yeah. Yes. And did you literally say "I'm touched" out loud?
Accidentally, yes.
You're touched by what?
Just looks over and is like, huh?
Araya's gonna look to Hugo and goes, "Yeah, we don't know what that man's touched. We don't question it." Also, so she just looks at all of you. Just come on, just come. Let's just go home. Sparky, just follow us. She just makes up a nickname because, frankly, she doesn't know Rakaya Puba's name. She doesn't care. At this point, she doesn't care a lot about things because she's just covered in disintegrated man. She's had enough. So she leads you back down out of the street. The street of the others is kind of as if the houses and the different storefronts looks as if you've gotten two houses and piled them on top of each other. It looks very mismatched. It looks very cluttered, but also it's filled with like brights and rainbows of colors. It looks like all the like nice foliage and trees are all mismatchedly placed. Like there's a tree growing out of the goddamn roof. They're all mixed around, but for some reason this place looks more natural and more at home than the one street who Araya and Hugo previously went down. It was very empty and white and pale and looked as if it had been carved out of marble. You guys are walking down the street. While you're walking down, and you doing anything apart from you chatting about anything about the previous fight or anything like that?
Oh, Cass is probably just going and just looks over at Marie and then looks over at Hakaya Papa and goes, "Sparky. I like that name. That's your name now." And like no one really gets a choice. He just goes, "That's your name now," and just continues.
Yeah, Araya
on.
agree. Araya just nods.
And Sparky looks Sparky like kind of tilts his head, like slightly confused, but just kind of goes with it.
He understands that his name isn't as easy. Like would have understood that people have had trouble trying. Like hasn't even been like they've been having trouble referring to him because I feel like everyone's forgotten the full acronym. I mean, I'd forget it if it wasn't.
I mean, I literally had to read it off when I said it earlier. I don't even have the full acronym memorized.
Yeah, valid. Name is Sparky now. Marie, Hugo.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna have slipped the circlet into my pocket.
Yep.
So that's my person now.
Yes.
And
You
Cassius
doing
looks-
anything with the circlet currently?
I'm gonna look over the runes again and just kind of like run my finger over them and just
Yeah.
like examine it a little bit better.
Yeah, there is. I will not make you roll a wisdom saving throw, but there is a faint magical hue to it, and you would have roll me an Arcana check.
Oh God.
You, the rogue, roll me an Arcana check.
Yeah. Who's not gonna betray me? You're not gonna betray me. Or maybe you will. That's a 3.
Don't worry, it's just faintly magical. Araya looks back and just goes, wow, we really have a habit of picking up crowns, tiaras, and goddamn diadems, don't we? Goddamn it.
Yeah, suppose we do.
Don't show that thing to hide. That thing is way too magical to be shown to hide. Please hide it.
So, Sparky kind of looks over and it's like, and asks to Marie, have you figured out what that thing is?
Well, I know it's a circlet, and based off of what it says or what I could translate, it has something to do with hiding faces. It's something. There's parts of this thing that I don't understand really.
Do you mind if I take a look?
At your words, at your very specific words, Araya's face goes from I'm tired and I want to get home to slightly concerned and just looks and says, okay, whatever that thing is, regardless of whatever the runes say, do not show that to anyone at the circus, please.
All right.
Hide that.
So anyway, Sparky takes it and kind of examines it. I'm gonna roll an That would be a nat 20. So 25.
I have no clue how Sparky would know this, but
so it's sort of like hidden in his bank of knowledge that was bestowed upon him.
With his bank of knowledge, I was gonna make you roll an investigation check afterwards. This circlet has it's a homebrew item. I've called it a circlet of disguise. So once attuned, person can cast disguise self at will. But every time you cast disguise self, you have to re-attune to it if you want to re-disguise yourself to it as a different thing. And you can so it's essentially casting it essentially turns a thing into a cantrip. One, you have to be wearing a circlet, and you have a feeling that the circlet won't disappear with the image.
Gotcha. So this is like pulled from like the very back of Sparky's head.
Sparky's eye just scans the object.
Yeah, like scans it, and it's like from like the back of his head. Knowledge that he did not know that he knew. Allows him to identify the object, and sort of where are they at this point? Like where are they still in the other
out in the street? They're probably nearly at the circus.
Yeah. So,
but they're just on the other street.
So Sparky is able to identify the object and taking Araya's warning to heart, hands it back to Marie, who I'm assuming slips it back into her pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they clear the street, he kind of just takes them slightly to the side, basically away from earshot to everybody. And basically he explains what the item is to the group, and explaining and offers, I do believe I'm capable of attuning that to you if you so wish.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I might just hang on to it for a little while. I mean, until I don't trust it right now. It's an arcane artifact from God knows where. and it might be dangerous. It might do something to me. I've already got this whole thing going on. She's disguised, but she motions to like her face and her head.
Yeah.
That's
It's
the
like
whole thing.
if you do not trust the item, I can hold on to it. Hold on to it for you.
Something tells me I need to hold it. I don't know. I'm sorry. I just
Oh, no worries. I just seemed concerned.
well, yeah, that's real sweet of you. Bless your soul, darling. But
Yeah,
I think I can take care.
Yeah. He's like, I have no need for such an artifact, because again, he has no social cues, so he doesn't realize that it's weird being a warforged. So he's like, I don't need it.
She'll just pat him on the arm, or probably the lower arm near the hand, because that's probably all she can reach. But just
Okay, so you guys arrive inside the circus, and as you guys are walking, Araya seems to have been thinking the entire time, like as in like she's deep in thought. And so you guys walk in through the circus, and I will explain the circus for a bit. So as explained in our previous like background knowledge, big circus tent is bright white and red, and like there's in like the main tent, which you guys would have had to walk through because it's considerably large and walking around that would have taken much longer, is this big, it seems too big to be put up by itself, and it's very obviously put up by arcane means, because there's nothing actually, like there's no support means, there's nothing actually holding it up, and you guys would know. Well, you guys except for Sparky would know, having set up the tent multiple times. There's a big, it almost looks like a chandelier coming down from the very top of the tent, and again, doesn't look like it's held there securely, but it is, because arcane means. There's a big, the big trapeze set and tightrope wire set off into kind of angled slightly, so the audience rings of like the audience seats around here can see both well, but it's not like on one side that looks awkward. It's kind of like diagonally across. There's lots of different circus like apparatus and items littered around. There's the orchestra pit off to the side that Hugo would know very well. And overall, it looks very... It feels like it's at home. And in any other circumstance, it would look grand and magical and wonderful. But you guys know who built it. And that kind of sours it slightly. It's such a beautiful sight, but... yeah, you know that Hyde is not the greatest of men. Yeah. So you make your way through and into Hyde's office, which I will explain again to our audience. Hyde's office it's a tent that looks slightly similar on the outside to the main tent. It's just smaller, and you guys go in, and there's quite a lot of different mismatched objects, but they're not they're meticulously placed. Like there's shelves seemingly hung up on the sides of the tent. It's got like a very array of objects. It's all very nicely organized, but the furniture and the objects themselves look so obnoxious, but like they're so nicely designed. Like there's like red velvets and golds and brown wood, but it looks like the furniture looks like people would have spent platinum on. Like it's very expensive. There's glowing swords. There's I will not make you guys roll Arcana checks. Necrotic energy. It's bad vibes. Swords giving off bad vibes. Many boxes giving off bad vibes. I believe Marie rolled an investigation check and saw this. I think everyone else
did as well, and I got higher than Marie. I did, and I got higher than Marie.
So a lot of people rolled.
Sparky saw the glowing swords. Marie saw she saw a trunk of clothes that look like, because you know what Hyde wears. You know that Hyde wears very grand, very expensive clothing, and these clothes look like could even be from different cultures and older clothing, and just a mix match of clothes that very clearly aren't his. You see a black pearl glowing with a strange energy that you don't actually know. It's slightly glowing. It's like it's glowing on the inside. But it's not actually like glowing, but it's like got a light on the inside, and it's shifting slightly. You see a brown horn with actually, Castian, can you please roll an investigation check, because you're the only one that didn't last time, because you were too busy winking with Hyde.
Shut up.
So
let him be a horny ranger.
Also, I don't know if this is the plan. Sparky doesn't know this, just a personal observation of mine. Necrotic energy and a trunk of random assortment of clothing.
12.
Well,
I want to see if any of you can figure out what I'm implying.
No, I know
here.
exactly what you're implying here. I am just ignoring you. 12. With my modifier.
With your modifier. Oh, wow. Not that great. You see,
yeah.
I mean, they're not hidden. You see the clothes, you don't make the connection, you just see, oh, it's a box of clothes. You do see the black pearl, and you do see the brown horn. That looks similar, but it isn't, you couldn't be sure if it was the same. It looks similar. You just see it, you see it propped up on, kind of like on like a stand, but off to the side on one of the desks.
You're just gonna see Cass see that and just his face just visibly just drop. Just like, not a specific emotion, just, he goes from just like, kind of like, just Cass to, in like 22 seconds.
Marie's set a reassuring hand on his arm, just like a...
Hyde does not notice that. Hyde is, as before. Hyde is as before. I'm going to demonstrate this. Sitting up in his chair, his legs up against the desk. I can't do this. My legs hurt too much. Just kind of like lounging back, being the not straight man that he is. He has very, very well styled black hair. He has a top hat that's black velvet. It has a band around it, but it looks like the band fades to red rather than just being a specific band. He has a very lovely tailcoat that's now this time red, with a gold trim. Very much circus-esque. I'm ready to be a ringmaster kind of vibes. He has his black waistcoat on with like the same gold trim, but just coming around here. And his boots look freshly polished. He looks like he's ready for the show, which is tonight. And he takes a look and he sees you guys have gotten the supplies, and he looks to Araya. And Araya goes, she has this face on that you guys I won't make you guys roll an insight check because you were hanging out with her before. You went from looking in thought or like kind of she didn't have this face on before. Her face has gone from in thought to almost a mask of completely angry and pissed off. And you knew that she had no reason to be before. She looks and she says, yeah, we're probably going to have to get a deal with him because he wasn't exactly cooperative. I didn't get the package. And he looks to her and he grins slightly, as if he would have much preferred this option, and says, yeah, don't worry about it. I'll deal with it much later. And then she just gives him a nod, gives Hugo a look like, do not say anything, keep quiet. And you guys are dismissed with a wave of his hand. So, as you were outside of the office, do you do anything?
No, Cass just looks really sad still. And probably will until tomorrow.
And so Sparky, being able to somewhat read things is kind
No,
of like
you know
Castle.
what?
Like,
No. Roll an
No.
insight check.
Roll an insight check.
okay, you know what? This is probably gonna fail because it's fucking Sparky. Oh, never mind. It's a insight. That is not 18.
Oh wow! Well done. Sparky's rolled many inside checks in session 0, and this is the first one that succeeds.
Yeah.
No social skills.
Yes.
Okay, so like he's to the point where he's like visibly sad. So Sparky kind of notices, and he just kind of looks at Cass and like, are you okay?
And Cass just doesn't answer. He just looks up. And he just looks away. And then he looks at Marie. And then he just looks away. And he just walks away.
INTJ energy, just saying.
He is an INTJ.
Okay, on that,
Why do that?
Araya's, because Araya does have, very much practice to be. She's very much, her performance is very intricate. So she's gonna look at Cass, and obviously, because she doesn't need to roll an insight check to notice that Cass is visibly upset. She just looks at him and goes, she just says, "Things in Hyde's office aren't always what you think them to be." Says them reassuringly, and then walks off.
And he hears her, but he's still walking away. He's not listening to anyone.
Pardon?
Before Araya leaves, Marie's just gonna kind of like grab her by the arm quickly and go, "You know something about those circlets, don't you? You looked at them real weird." And
She turns and she's like, "I have no clue what it is, but I can." You see, I've used that kind of magic before, disguise magic, and knowing Hyde, he doesn't need more.
Valid.
And then she walks off because you don't clearly have she's busy. She has places to be. As you're walking away, Cass, can you roll me a perception check?
I will do that. 18.
Okay. So as you're walking away, you see Iran. You see Iran walking around the corner. You see Willen wrapped around him. I'm going to describe him quickly. Iran has he's got what he wears usually for the show, which isn't much. Has sort of like clothes that would be like clothes that kind of fit in with the color of his skin and look almost has like it's kind of it almost doesn't quite look like clothes at first, but once you guys know like he has armbands that have like spine, like not quite spines, but what do you think? I'm gonna call them spines.
Spikes?
And like as arm things. I forgot what they're called. Armband things that. No, they're spines. They're not fins. They do have webbing in between them, but they don't look like fins. And his clothing almost looks like it's armor, but it's attached to him. You guys know that Iran is cursed. He doesn't keep it secret, and it's very clear. You see his skin is gray with like patches of what look like stone, and a mixture of stone and scales around patches of his body. His hair just falls to his face, but it looks like the hairstyle that he wears looks like it shouldn't fall that way. His eyes are kind of like have an blue iris, but kind of like a gray sclera. It's not quite white and it's not quite black. It's just like it's kind of like a sickly looking gray. And you see Willen, who looks almost like this, like has the exact same skin tone, exact same like patches, everything like that, except Willen has a tail. You can tell the difference between Iran and Willen is Willen looks more naturally like that. Iran looks like an air genasi. He has the facial features and build of an air genasi, but his skin tone, his hair doesn't look like that. He's told you guys before. He walks up, he smiles at Cassian, and Willen just reaches out and goes, Cassie!
And Cass just
Dad, bring me to
goes,
Cassie. Bring me to Cassie. So Iran just looks and says, sorry, mate. Sorry, mate. We've got a show in an hour. Can you please just... And Willen's like, no. Willen usually doesn't like social interaction. Usually would much rather talk to fish. But Castian counts. Castian counts the fish but not being a fish. Reaches over and just, as soon as Iran gets within body shot, just latches onto Castian, unwraps his tail and wraps his tail around Castian, just gives him a big hug. Just goes, hi, you excited? You're excited? We have a show. I get to speak to fish. And it's just visibly stimming. It's just like vibrating this entire time.
I love Willen.
Yes. Yes. In response, does Castian's mood change?
He's still sad, but he loves Willen. He just goes, hi, Willie, and he just hugs him so
Willen
tight.
is like hugging, but also like hugging really, like how a child, when the child looking back is hugging really awkwardly?
Yeah. He just
kind of hugging, not quite choking Castian, but like also just poking his face, just being really stupid. And he says, do you have any fish where the animals are? Do you have any more fish? Did you get any more fish when you were out?
We didn't get any more fish, Will.
Willen his face just looks sad for a second and then brightens up again. He says, I saw a fish in a dirt lake, and it's like, you found a fish in a puddle. It's a tiny fish. Around it, just visibly, I've dealt with this child for this entire day. My son is annoying me, but I'm pretending he's not annoying me face.
And Cass just looks and he sees that and he just laughs.
He's like, saw a tadpole in a puddle. We had to stop. And he had to save the tadpole. It's called damn tadpole. It's not even a fish. And Willen says, it has a tail, it's a fish. And just stops, and it looks as if they've had this argument before. And as you guys are walking over, you guys would have seen this.
And Cass just looks at Iran and goes, yeah, if it has a tail, it's a fish. And he just looks very pointedly at him, like, let the child have his moment. Let him believe it's
Marie, can you quickly roll me a deception check? Yes. Sorry. Continue.
Okay. A deception check.
Yes.
What is my deception?
You're not going to be with Iran rolled a natural 20.
I rolled garbage. I keep rolling garbage.
Okay. Iran looks to your like bag and sees the metal circlet poking out slightly and sees the runes. And he looks at the runes once and he looks again. He says, "Is that primordial?" That's my primordial. That's Ori.
Is it now? She's gonna like,
shiny. Can I see?
And Cass just holds on to Willen a little.
There's no one else around. It's literally just Iran and Willen right now.
No one else around. Great.
Okay, so
she's gonna.
Cass just holds on to Willen a little tighter, just so he doesn't just jump and try and grab the circlet.
Yes, Sparky.
Okay, so because you said Castian was walking away when he met up with Will and whatever. Does that mean that are Marie and Sparky a ways away, or have they just followed Castian?
Well, Castian didn't walk away far enough, and you guys would immediately see Iran and Willen, and Marie, having worried about Castian, probably would have started following and probably wouldn't be close by, and Iran would have noticed.
Yeah, and then Sparky being basically locked up, he has no clue what they're doing, just follows Marie like, okay, let's go, let's protect this little one.
Well, I mean, you can sure take a look at it if you want. It's just a trinket that we found. Arcane nature, but
upon looking at it, Iran looks at it and goes, like his face goes from I'm slightly intrigued to hang on, I recognize this. What? This is something. Because this is from the air elemental plane. This is from where I grew up. He looks at it and he's like, this is, I see people wear this all the time. It was like a joke. It was like a joke thing. You wore them and you changed your look to try and sneak up on a person, and it was just used as like, kind of like a practical joke. I've completely dropped our own accent, but that's fine. And he was like, he laughs at it slightly as if like sentimentality. Yeah. He's looking at it laughing and just goes, and Willem looks over it, looks at it, goes, that's really shiny. Did you have one? And Iran's like, this, I did a long time ago, but I'm not there anymore. I moved away. And as he did, he plays with a necklace that he has around his neck. Hugo, roll me another wisdom saving throw.
Julio. Oh no.
What was that? What was that, buddy?
17. Oh no, because
okay.
it's a minus one saving.
17's okay. You still hear the like the voice that's calling to you about the circlet, but like calling to you to like look at it and vibe with it. But it's gotten quieter now. It's not quite as, hey, you should do this. Hang on one sec.
And he does nothing.
Where does Hugo have this thing stored?
Yeah, if you do have it, where do you have it stored? Because I'm gonna make a perception check. So
it's in his bag. That's where I told.
Because can Sparky make a perception check to see if he sees it?
You can make an insight check to notice, because Hugo's currently would be distracted hearing a voice in his head. If you roll, I will make you roll an insight check to actually realize that there's something in his bag.
Insight, that'd be 11.
Okay. You know Hugo has a different face than Hugo's a different facial structure than he did before, but you have no idea what it is. It's just face is slightly changed, eyebrows are slightly furrowed. Must just be random. I will allow you to roll a perception check to see if Hugo's doing anything out of the ordinary rather than insight.
Sure.
But not what's in the bag.
That would be sorry, perception?
Perception.
Or in the perception would be 15.
You would see that Hugo's eyes are continually flicking towards the bag, and not quite necessarily talking back, but just very confused in what's in his bag.
You know, that's just how it is sometimes. You know? This is how it is, isn't it?
You gonna do anything? You see Hugo visibly almost having a mental conversation with the bag.
So I think Twig is like, Hugo, is everything okay?
Huh?
Is everything okay?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
Roll a deception check.
Eddie, deception.
I'm going.
Hope Hugo's deception is better than Eddie's.
I think it is.
Hugo's.
This one, pal.
Eddie would have a
Oh, it's a +5. Oh. That is 22 then.
Oh yeah, no, Sparky would not pick that up.
No.
I love how Hugo's deception is +5 and Eddie's is like -4.
You know what? Hang on. I'm gonna see if Iran notices this conversation.
Yeah. So yeah, Sparky definitely wouldn't because he's not good with people cues.
19. I would say he doesn't pick up the lying, does pick up the strange conversation, and after rolling insight check, that's an actual 20. Notice that something is definitely wrong with Hugo, and just looks and says, "Well, have you collected something as well? Are we all picking up things today that are seemingly magical?"
Of course not.
You already rolled the deception check. You were a terrible liar. I hate it. Anyway, yeah. After noticing that Aram gives you back the circlet and just says, he's like, "You were told not to give this to anyone, right? Like, not to show it to anyone else." Yeah, probably a good idea because Hyde likes to collect things. We all know this. And
I know that.
I would just. It's not necessarily overly powerful, but I mean it is. But I just don't like him. I just don't like him having something that's of my culture. You seem like a good person to have it, but yeah, don't give it to him.
Of course, I wouldn't imagine I would. She's just gonna make sure it's down in her pocket. Just.
Willen, after having, I'm not even going to say what Willen says. Willen has been talking very animatedly about a tadpole is a fish because it's got a tail to Castian. After having that conversation, Willen seems to kind of like, I'm done with talking now, and reaches out towards Iran and just unfurls himself and refills himself around Iran and just waves goodbye and goes, "Wait, do we get to play with the fishes now? And it's like, yes, you get to talk to your friends." Just walks off looking I'm tired now. But gives a couple of looks back to Marie as if, my culture. Huh? Didn't see that in a while. What? And just continues on walking. You guys know that the show ain't too far away, so if you guys, if anyone of the circus, Sparky obviously not being of the circus, if you guys want to talk to anyone in particular before the show, now's your chance. Is there any people that you'd like to catch up with?
Hugo's just gonna vibe with his instruments, tuning.
Valid.
Yeah,
with his
probably just
backup player.
Okay.
I feel like Sparky, who again does not know where they are, because he kind of is like the kind of like don't cross the ringmaster kind of vibes. So I feel like Sparky, what he just does is he just follows Marie and is just like scanning his surroundings.
Okay,
like making a mental map of the circus, but it's just following.
He's just decided Marie protect.
Roll an investigation check.
That would be. Sorry, math. That would be 23.
Oh yeah. So you're able to. You would know that if you had to find your way around by yourself, you'd be able to, because you just scan map generated, map established.
Yeah, he's just taking like a mental map, but then he also kind of like makes a couple of notes in like a little journal of his.
You see a couple of people around. You see a person just as tall as you, white skin, black tattoos, talking to a tiny bear cub. Reassuring said bear cub. You see a woman that looks with short brown hair in like a purple leotard. You see her bend over backwards more than a normal human should. Choose to do anything, that's on you. But you see her just fold in on herself. And she looks like she's practicing, and it looks like that's natural. She doesn't look in pain, but she's just bending a lot. And as she's practicing, you see...
He definitely just makes note of that in his journal, like, about humans.
Not for Pine, for Sparky's check, but is that Cynthia? Okay. Cass is probably going to go to her.
Yep. We'll look you that in a second. Marie, where are you walking to? What are you doing? You're going to practice vibing, or are you just...
Yeah, I mean, I guess she'd kind of make her way around, make sure everything's in order. She would take off her shawl. Her feathers are back now. she'd clip up her dress again, like put back on all the alterations, touch up her makeup, do as she should. And yeah, she'll just start getting ready, like pulling ropes, making sure everything's tight and making sure everything's tied down, just double checking stuff.
When you're tying down all of the like, I'm assuming you're where the trapeze area is, tying all those ropes properly. Yeah. You see, roll a perception check.
Who's not gonna fail me?
Wait, okay.
You're
Sparky, you also can.
Okay. That's not what I was gonna ask. I was actually gonna ask.
Natural 20. Okay. Yes. Sparky.
That would be 21.
21?
20.
Okay. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna ask. Out of the stuff that I grabbed at the shop, would a new broom be one of those things?
Yes.
That poor janitor.
Janitor.
You can give.
Okay, continue with on what you do, but I feel like Sparky would go find the janitor and be like, "Here's a broom."
Yeah,
But
you can
continue on with what you're doing.
You would. Yeah, you can do that on the way.
He's with Marie. He's with her.
Janitor looks very much happier with his life now, having a new broom. You two would immediately notice Do and Dio, well, you wouldn't know them by name, Sparky, but they look completely identical. Having a very heated conversation with Anya. You pick up Dio saying, you know not to cross him. What you have, you should give it back. Like, no. You seriously want to be on his bad side. Anya just goes, nothing's going to happen to me. If he did something to me, then he wouldn't. And they're having a very heated argument, and it seems like they want Anya to do something, and she's clearly not doing it. She absolutely has made up her mind. And as soon as they see you, conversation drops. Anya gives a smile. Do and Dio just give the I'm blank face and just gonna look away, because they're tightrope walkers. So Marie, you would know them well. You would know them well enough to know that they don't want to know anyone well, and they train, and that's probably the most you've seen them talk. They don't talk much. Castian, you would also know one of them for different reasons. But you also would know not a talker. They don't talk at all, and that's probably the most you've ever seen them interact with anyone. Anya walks over and goes, and just walks over smiling. She's like, so, "Are you ready for the show tonight?" Who's the tall one?
Oh, well, that's Sparky. He is quite the figure, I might say.
Sparky. As you look down, you would see Anya, who has her hair now braided up nicely, like tied back, and white hair that's borderline as majestic as Castian's, but not quite. Light purple skin. Pointed as you would know that she's a drow. Please roll a history check on Anya.
History, that would be 14.
14. You would know that she's not wearing anything. You would know about drows, because it's a fairly common knowledge, but, just Marie didn't pick that up. You would know that they have sensitivity to sunlight. She's standing in what would be full sunlight. Like, there's, with the chandelier on, there's still, skylights almost kind of thing. You could see that she's completely fine standing in the sun. Whether you choose to comment on this or not.
He just kind of makes a mental note of it. And then also, as a customary human greeting, kind of sticks out his hand for a handshake.
Anya smiles and shakes back, and as she says, she turns to Marie and kind of drops her voice and goes, "Do you have people that you trust?"
I do, yeah. Why?
bring them and meet me after the show,
All right.
because I have something to say. And as she's talking to you, you see Doe and Dio looking at us and listening in, and very clearly. And as soon as she's like talking, she quickly says that and just looks at them and just stops. Says, "How about we go and train?" On that, let's switch to Castian. Castian, stop.
Quick question.
Yes.
Would Sparky have been able to hear that conversation?
I would say standing right next to Marie. Yeah. Also, Warforged. I would say Warforgers have considerable passive perception. On that note, Hugo, I would say Hugo wasn't that far away, so Hugo would probably hear this next conversation. Because Cynthia's where Cynthia's practicing. So if you want to butt in, you can. Cynthia just is doing contortion things, looks up, sees Cassie, rolls her eyes, and goes to walk away.
And he just goes, hey. He just kind of like calls out like, hey, don't run away from me.
Also, gave her a southern accent without realizing they also gave General a southern accent. But shouldn't you be going cleaning up animal shit? Don't you have something to do by bothering me?
He just goes, I have a little while. And he just winks at her. He just winks at her. And just... A persuasion check. I will do that.
Yeah.
What's my persuasion?
The art of seduction.
Ah, yes.
Rolls to seduce.
Rolls to seduce. That's a natural 20.
I'm so proud of you.
I'm so glad.
Okay. Rolls her eyes, pulls you by the hand, looks to Hugo's and looks to the orchestra pit. Seeing one of the dwarves wolf whistles, and Cynthia just shuts them up with a look and just rolls her eyes and just drags Cassie away. Cynthia's going to be late to the performance. That's fine.
He normally is.
Yep. I'm not even gonna.
Just fade to black.
First fade to black of the session. At least one every session. Okay. So, a bit of a time skip to the show. Is there anything else that you guys would like to do before the show? Would you guys like to attune to anything?
Yeah.
Okay. You attune. Marie, I will say that you can, if you spend time attuning, you can unattune. You are able to unattune to it. Hugo, are you vibing with anything? Are you going to vibe with the circlet or not? You have time.
Well, always vibing with the circlet, you know? That's just how it is. Is the circlet still being like, hey, salami?
Yes. But yeah, you feel it attune to you. You feel it become, like when you put it, you wouldn't put it on your head because you're in a circus, people would see. But just stick your hand in the bag and just vibe with it. You feel it connect with you. But Hugo, what are you doing to vibe with it? You taking it out, or you just vibing with it in the bag like Marie is? Or are you going somewhere privately?
Well, he can't really take it out of the package because he's really not supposed to have it, and like kind of it's his.
Yeah.
So he's not gonna take it out of the package unless he's like, I don't know, very much alone. But he's gonna vibe with it inside his bag, just like.
Did you? I don't think you changed it last time. No, you didn't. You didn't have time. You, however, cannot unattune to it.
I don't know.
You connect to it. You spend time vibing.
Okay.
You feel it connect to you. It's not, and it doesn't take as long as it usually should. You kind of just feel it instantly connect to you. Yes.
Just because I'm just reading the attunement rules for attuning. Marie needs to be like focused on just the item for an hour.
You doing that?
Marie, that's a question.
Yeah,
That's what she's doing.
So I feel like
you got time before.
Yeah, I would say I said you had about an hour. You would have a little bit over an hour because like the show might start soon, but you guys aren't on straight away.
Yeah.
you know, well, Marie's actually on at the end, the finale. So Marie does have the time to, and especially when the show starts, she'll have an hour because the show's longer than an hour. She will have time. Hugo, however, doesn't have an hour but doesn't need one. It almost immediately connects to Hugo. And are you asking it any questions?
I think Hugo asked this last time, but what are you?
What
Just
are
gonna
you?
keep on-
You hear a proper reply this time. It says, "You'll find out who I am eventually. But my name is Nuada."
The name is what?
Nuada. She says, "I think you and I will have a lot of fun, and I think that you were a great choice in Champion."
Champion.
What, are you not a warrior? You have a sword, you decapitated a man. You protected innocence.
That doesn't make me a champion or a warrior.
Champion. Did you just say champion?
Champion? No, I said champion. I'm sorry.
Says, well, many things can turn a man into a warrior, and I think you're on the path to that. Otherwise, you're on your way to becoming of such. And I think that well, I mean, you wouldn't have connected to me if you hadn't been.
Oh, okay.
Unsure if you got this. Are you speaking this out loud or in your head?
He means it to be in his head, but a couple of words slip out, like, because he's not that careful.
Yeah,
He's
don't
got
worry.
a deception +5, Eddie. Come on.
The wolves rolled a 9, so they don't pick it up.
Hey, there's all sorts of music going around, you know, tuning.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people are gonna hear it.
And you find even when you put it in your bag to start the performance, because you would be playing music for the night, and you would notice that if you wanted to reach out, you wouldn't have to be wearing it. You can just keep it in your bag and just be chatting away to Nuada.
Yeah.
Natalie,
How do you spell that? I'm taking notes. How do you spell that?
Nuada.
Nuada.
I spelled that.
Okay. That looks like a weird sigil, but that's an N. That's fine.
Yeah. It's fine.
Continue.
So also during this whole process, while Marie is attuning to the item, Sparky's just like standing guard. Like, you know, he's continually observing kind of who comes in. Like, he's constantly on observation mode, but he's very much being like, no one touches this small individual.
Eventually, you guys will have to make your way backstage because the show will start. As you walk away, roll me another. Hang on, it might be that. No, yeah, roll me another perception check. Just one more between the show of you. Or roll me one.
At 20.
Oh dang.
Yeah.
Dang.
What is my modifier? Perception, you said?
Yeah.
14.
Not 20, which means 23.
Yeah. Okay. As you, Marie wouldn't notice this. Sparky would. As you guys are walking away, I don't think you would. Also, Marie doesn't notice this. Also, Sparky, you would notice this, but you wouldn't think of it out as the ordinary. But Dio, his performance outfit, because he goes on a little bit before, has a sheath attached to it.
Okay.
And you see a glint of metal. Okay, so show begins.
Oh, also, quick question.
Yes.
Quick question. When they're going backstage, would that be while Marie is still like is she in the process of attuning, or is she finished by
It
then?
would be before. It would be realistically. It would be before. You wouldn't have a lot of time
Okay.
to train.
I was just wondering because if she was still in the process, Sparky would have just picked Marie up and carried her.
You know what? That can happen. That can happen if you wanted to. You guys can make that choice.
Sparky just picks Marie up.
Castian, when you finish, can you roll me an animal handling check?
I
Give
can...
me a lighting.
Yes, I will do that. My man's got a +3. That is a 22.
Okay, I was like, you had to get higher than 10. And yeah, so as the show begins, the light of the chandelier, which the light that shines from it, there's like a spotlight that comes down, but it doesn't look like the chandelier should do that. And then there's like the light refracting around the crystals, like dancing around the tent. And those watching, so Hugo would see the entire thing and would obviously be used to it. You would see as the audience gathers, you would see the lights spinning. You would see it sometimes dim and brighten depending on the show. You would see as the show begins, like the animals walking, like the horses gathering around and running around the edges of the ring. You would see people. You would see your friends, members of the circus, riding around it. You would play like a nice little jig as the horses are running around. You'd see Castian in the background giving the horses directions. You would see kind of gathered into like an ornate wheelbarrow, like a wire golden. Looks like a bit like a wheelbarrow with a like a glass tank. You would see Aran and Willen be paraded around, which nobody really likes, but it's fine. Aran is literally just sitting there reading a book. Willen's talking to the fish. They don't like, and you see Dorelli, this Yuan-Ti pureblood, with scales, green eyes, long black hair. You would see her give Aran a look as he passes, like, please do something, actually look like you're interested. And Aran, as so the audience doesn't see, because Varelli is like kind of off to the side. You would see her glare at Aran's very, very well hidden obscene gesture. It's also hidden from Willen. Gives her an obscene gesture and just continues back on reading his book. His book is somehow able to be wet, which is odd. But there isn't, like, it's actually like an underwater book. He's just reading it and vibing and having a time. His hand continually going to play with his necklace, which, as you guys would know, would have 2 rings on it. As he's paraded around, it's a very, very fantastical sight. And Sparky, if you poke your head out, it will be this big, fantastical thing. You would see. Castian, do you choose to bring? Would you bring the Drake out?
No. Cass
Nope.
will not bring his Drake out during the circus hours.
Good. Okay. Yeah. You would see Uthal doing his strongman performance. You would see the bear cub just sitting on the weights, just sitting there vibing, just bouncing slightly as he's lifted up on the weights. You would see him take the weights off you would see him throw them up into the air and catch them. And at one stage, he goes to pick up a weight, doesn't realize the bear's still on it, throws it up, catches both of them. And he just looks to Keothi, the little bear cub, and just goes, it just gives a, no, don't do that. And you see the audience crack up in laughter, as Uthal, you would know that was not part of the performance, and Uthal looks worried, but concerned mother, but not mother, as just a finger. And then Keothi's just doing, like, it almost seems like a little bear cub laugh as their voices are projected magically throughout the thing. And finally, but the last but not least, it comes to Marie and Anya's performance. Before we do that, I just want, for the fun of it, Hugo, roll me a performance check.
18 plus 7. That
Yeah.
is
Okay, your performance is real great. Like, barbershop quartet this time. Like, you guys are vibing. Everyone's enjoying the music and bouncing along to it and vibing and having fun of their lives. Marie, it gets to your performance. Roll me a performance check.
Okay, I'm so scared of passing. That's kind of trashy. Wow.
Oh,
9.
no.
Okay.
Hungry.
As you are swinging, you don't fall, but you notice as you are swinging, one of the trapeze handles is rattling. As you swing back, you notice it, and you kind of get worried. And as you swing back and forth, and you see Anya. As Anya drops, you catch her. It's a common thing, and you're swinging back and forth. The performance is going well enough, but you also see Anya notice the rattling.
Mhm.
And as it comes to, let me just check the time. Okay. As it comes to, you see her swing up. You see as you swing past, you see Anya reach for it, and you see it move slightly, and you see Anya's face worry, and Anya will turn, and you know that this isn't part of the performance. Turn and swing back to the trapeze that you want for you to catch her. Roll me a dexterity saving throw.
I'm so scared of you today.
Always.
Not too bad. 18.
18. You catch her, but palm slips slightly. You swing back. You guys look to each other and you look at, okay, you're going to get to the platform. You swing back to the platform, but the trapeze just misses. It's just too far for you guys to reach the platform. You go swinging back, and you know that since it didn't reach the platform, you're going to need more swing. You're going to need to go onto the other trapeze. What do you do?
I'm gonna hold on to Anya and jump to the other one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna hold on, but also use my leg to kind of steady it.
Mm-hmm.
So like if it falls, I have enough balance. I can
Roll me an acrobatics check.
Come on,
Question
do well,
here.
please.
Yeah.
Is there a net, or is this a flying Grayson situation?
There is no net.
There's no.
There usually should be actually, there should be a net. Sparky would notice this. There should be a net. There's no net.
Oh god.
Okay, question. Actually, would Sparky notice? Would Sparky notice the issue, or is it too
Roll
far?
me a perception check. It is up really high, so roll me a perception check.
Yeah.
That would be perception. I have +3, so that would be 21.
21. You notice this. You notice that Marie's landed on the rattling one. You see Anya seemingly on the safe one. Marie, roll me a perception check.
A perception check.
Sparky, because you rolled that, you would see this, but you have been told to remain backstage or just like in the open doorway. So yeah.
So acrobatics and perception.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, roll me an acrobatics and a perception.
And while this
acrobatics.
happens,
all of you would. Yes, you'd be with Sparky.
Okay, no. My question is, would I roll an insight or perception check? Because he wouldn't. I'm telling you right now, Cass probably wouldn't see that, but he would see Marie's reaction. Should I roll an insight check for that or a perception?
Okay, check. Also, Hugo, roll me a perception check.
I'm assuming would those two realize that there's supposed to be a net?
Yes, but actually, during the performance, said net was taken away.
Okay.
So that's
a
concerning. That's a 15.
Okay, you would notice that Marie's face is worried and slightly terrified.
Yeah, and I feel like at that point, like upon noticing it, he would kind of like tap Cass and says and point out that the trapeze was like rattling, and it didn't look safe.
Yeah, because Cass would be like, "Y'all, she looks kind of."
Natalie, what did you roll?
So for acrobatics, I got a 21. Thank
Okay.
you, guys. But for perception, I got 13.
Okay. Give me one moment.
Come on.
Okay. You see Marie, you notice, for all of your others perception rolls, you guys actually wouldn't quite catch this. Even though you rolled high, it's concealed in shadow, and only Marie really has the eyesight, like eye line for it. You would see Dio standing next to one of the ropes, and you would see him pull out from the sheath a knife and just slice the rope.
Marie's gonna throw Anya to the other one.
No, your trapeze doesn't fall.
Oh.
Anya's does. Okay, okay.
Oh.
Strength saving throw.
My strength isn't garbage. Okay, that's not trash. That's it's 18.
18. Both of you are hanging there, and you feel, Marie, you feel your arm getting creasing. You feel Anya's weight, and Anya looking up at you, utterly terrified. And she looks up and she lets out a laugh slightly, and she just reaches into something that she's holding, and she says, I should have expected this to happen. Gives you the package, gives you like a little wrapped thing, and says, you need to get out of here. All of you. Gives her this, gives her and says, this is something that cannot reach Hyde's hands ever again. This is something of, well, not of him, but him. Holds it, looks at your guys' intertwined hands, and she considers for a moment, and you both of you look, and she looks over backstage, and you will, if you followed her eye line, you would see this. You would see Hyde looking over at Dio near the ropes and just mouth something, and you would see Dio go to cut the second rope. And you would just see Anya just let go.
Anya!
She would drop.
Okay, question. Okay, I have Misty Step and I have movement. My movement is 30 feet. Do I have time to fucking Misty Step and then sprint? Because that gives me 60 feet. Do I have time?
Just roll me a straight roll. Roll me a straight roll.
That's a 17. I'm pulling my hair out.
I can't say no.
Yes.
If you run, you will be able to catch Anya.
Okay, this motherfucker's gonna Misty Step 30 feet and then sprint and
Rewrite
catch
the
her.
entirety of session 2 and the entirety of the campaign. You have no idea. I feel like Matt Mercer after the goddamn Kip incident, Natalie.
Oh my god.
I'm not letting motherfuckers die, okay?
You see Anya's face look up in utter surprise at being caught. And she actually looks to Cass and says, shouldn't have done that.
Uh-oh.
And she lets herself, she gets down and she looks up at Marie, and she looks over at Dio, who also looks like, shit, this shouldn't have happened. Anya's meant to be splat on the floor. Goes with his, you would be close enough, but goes and reaches for his knife again. As if to cut the second rope. Or what are you gonna roll?
Cass is his arms out.
Category.
Marie's also stuck on a rattling trapeze. It's not swinging anymore. She's just stuck up there. So you guys gonna do anything?
I'm gonna look at Dio.
Standing there at this entire audience is screamed. The audience is completely silent. And Hyde is just looking over it, and you've never seen such rage on his face before.
Cass is probably gonna look over at Hyde. Is this rage visible enough that he's just gonna see it and go shit? Because that's okay. That's Cass right now. He has his arms out like he's gonna catch Marie, and he's just going shit. But he's also furious because he knows.
Sparky and Hugo, are you guys doing anything?
Okay. How much of this? How much can Sparky see?
By the time, you would see you have a clear view. You would see by the time Castian captures Anya, you would have been able to get over to Castian by now. You wouldn't have had the time because Castian misty stepped.
Yeah.
That's pure reason why. Only reason why Castian managed to save this thing is because he's an elf.
Misty step.
Yeah.
Okay, so in this case, if Sparky is now, because I feel like at this point, like Sparky's like, shit, I got people to protect, and he goes over there. So I feel like at this point, like Sparky is like he's hunkered down in the perfect position to catch Marie, and he just looks at Marie because obviously at this point he sees the dagger, and he's like, fall.
Marie, what are you doing? Also, Hugo, what are you doing? You're just seeing
Hugo's passive.
Hugo doing.
Hugo's
For
a
perception check.
Perception. You don't need to. You don't need to roll a perception check. It's very clearly Marie is about to fall. Anya has fallen and it's been caught by Castian.
Well, he's gonna make his way over there.
He's gonna take a solid.
He doesn't know what to do.
Mosey on down to my friend almost got homicided town.
You would see. So you would walk over, and you would see Aran and Willen also run over, having Willen looking as if he's about to cry, having seen Anya nearly die, and see Marie nearly dying. It's not necessarily because they're Marie and Anya. It's more just people are gonna die. So, yeah, he run. But you see both of them running over. Marie, what are you doing?
I'm gonna look at Dio. Is Dio within earshot of me? If I said something to Dio, what would he hear?
If you shouted it, yes. You're high up. You're considerably high up.
Mm-hmm.
If you fell, it would if you fell and weren't caught, you would immediately die.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna just say to Dio, what does he have on you? Why would you do something like this?
Complete blank face silence. And he goes to cut the rope. So, Sparky, roll me a strength saving throw.
Swear to God, if you go to backup character this early in the game.
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
Strength, that would be 15.
15. You catch her. I had a backup plan, but you catch her. Don't worry. You catch her and you just...
I love how Cass has had his arms out this whole time and Sparky's the one that catches her.
No. Well, Anya's...
Anya got down, didn't she?
Anya did get down.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Cass has just been...
Yeah. Either one of you could have made a strength save. Sparky did say that.
Sparky's just bigger and easier for him to catch someone that small.
Yeah.
You guys look around and you see the entire audience completely silent. And then you hear whispers what's going on, what's happening. You see Hyde walk into the spotlight and just go, show's over, get out, as loudly as possible. And you hear screaming and you hear terror from the audience as they run out, and you see Hyde reach for something in his pocket, and then just throw you would see him throw something out, and you would just see everything shrouded in just darkness. And
sorry, I'm just looking at my spells real quick.
Don't you fucking dare. Don't you fucking dare. Artie, I swear to fucking God, if you say that line, I'm gonna actually just slaughter you.
I'll give Sparky a chance to do what he's doing.
Sorry, I'm looking, because I have a couple spells that could be very useful. Also, I realized I have expeditious retreat. So Sparky
Oh.
100% also could have catched Anya if he wanted to.
Mhm. Everything's in darkness.
Do I or do
He's cast magical, like he's cast darkness.
okay? I feel like upon like Sparky, like I feel like it's Sparky's figured out. So would Sparky have been able to tell?
Roll me an insight check. At advantage.
Advantage? That would be 11.
Oh.
You have a suspicion that Marie isn't the one they want dead. Marie was just on the trapeze at the same time. And now that Marie and when Marie was there, they go, the Dio, what do I do? Getting knife happy.
Getting two birds with one stone.
Yeah. You guys can't do anything to stop the magical darkness, can you?
No, I can't. There's nothing I can do, but there's something I could
I can't.
cast if I wanted to.
Dark vision can't see through magical darkness, can it?
Nope.
Didn't think
Nope.
so. Yeah, I
Okay.
got nothing, man.
Sparky's very much just like holding Marie to his chest, like
Yeah.
I'm going to protect you. Okay. So I feel like kind of, yeah, obviously none of us can see. I feel like Sparky kind of what he does is kind of like grabs as many people as he can and just kind of pulls them like together. Sadly, Sanctuary only works on one person. Is annoying.
You're holding Marie, did you say?
Yeah, he's holding Marie.
Okay, guys.
Yeah, you can continue with what you're gonna do.
Like Matt Mercer, I have backup plans. And as the circus goes dark and you guys don't see anything, you do hear something. You hear a scream. And after the scream, you hear everything goes silent.
Do we hear?
Yes, he will. Yes, he will. And as you hear the scream go silent, as you hear the scream, and you hear Aran yell out, "Anya!" because he would also recognize it. You see the darkness fade, and you see a changeling with a knife in her chest. And hey, that's the end of session 1.
I'm gonna fucking slaughter Jason for that. You are dead.
Fuck, I should have done it. So Artie, what I was debating was Eye of Sanctuary.
Oh.
So that's why I asked, is because Sparky could have cast Sanctuary on Anya.
I literally hate you. I hate you. I hate you.
Sorry.
I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you.
You are the one who ruined my plans. I deadass was like, full. You would see her turn into a changeling. That's fine. But no, you decided to run in and do a friggin' Misty Step.
Cass has a savior complex. Let the man be a bitch.
Like session 1. How did that go, my dudes?
I hate
Everyone.
you. I literally despise every piece of your existence.
I'm now upset. I'm upset that I didn't cast fucking Sanctuary.
So, yeah. On that note, so, yeah, you guys nearly just ruined the most important plot point of the entire campaign. I had to do it.
Here's the thing. If I had casted Sanctuary,
yeah, I wouldn't have been able to. Yeah,
wouldn't have been able to because you can't get killed.
You didn't say I cast Sanctuary on Anya. You didn't say that. So, I'm just gonna say thanks for watching, everyone.